Hey guys, you're watching Sundays with Aiden. Just a bit of info, I'm 22, I'm transgendered, which means I was born biologically female, but I've never felt comfortable with this. I've always felt like a guy in a girl's body. So I'm going to be on hormones pretty shortly, changing that so that I feel more comfortable within myself. Today's a good topic for me actually, coming out, because when I talk about the questions, I'll be answering two sets of coming out stories. I came out as lesbian first, and then obviously I came out as transgender. So let's get straight in. For me, coming out as a lesbian was very, very easy. I told my best friend first, who also happened to be lesbian, but she told me after. Then I told my dad, who was just stoked that I wasn't going to end up pregnant. He was so happy that I was a lesbian. And I followed by telling the rest of my friends, family, and school, and most people just said yes, so we knew it was coming. You can talk to your friends and get them to call you he and Aiden to me, and you can talk to your family. But the workplace needs you to do things like change your name legally. Until you've changed your name legally, they're not going to accept anything. And they may call you your legal new name, which will be a boy's name, but they're not going to accept you as male until you've gone through the legal procedures. And I think in Australia that's like 2 years of hormone therapy plus surgery. So I could look like a man and have the name of a man and be talking to a customer and have one workmate come up and say she and look very silly. So that's probably the most challenging thing for coming out as trans. When I came out as lesbian, nothing really changed much. I guess for most people they'll feel more comfortable with themselves, but that wasn't the case for me, because I thought that coming out as lesbian would make me feel more comfortable about myself. And then I came to realize that that's not what I was, and it just sent me on a whole new path as to trying to find out why the hell I still felt crappy about myself. Since I came out as trans, I just feel so happy with myself. Like, I always hated my body, and I never knew why. I always hated talking to people, and I never knew why. I avoided social situations, I avoided workplaces. I tried to stay in a little hole to make myself feel comfortable. When I came out as trans to everybody, it was kind of like this little person I'd been hiding away was finally allowed out. And I just felt so comfortable that I didn't care what anyone else thought anymore, and I just felt happy. So that's what's changed since I've come out as trans. Coming out as lesbian, no, I was fine with that. Everyone accepted that. No problem. Coming out as trans, I came out as trans when I was young. I don't remember whether it was 11 or 15. And my mum accepted it, and she started calling me Caleb because that's the name I wanted at that point, for about a month. I hadn't told anyone else, and it was just her. When she stopped calling me that and started referring to me as Ashley, which is my birth name, again, I just let it slide, because I felt so uncomfortable telling her the first time. I didn't want to go through that again, so I just let it slide. It was the same with my friends. I told my friends, they stuck to it a bit, maybe a week or two, and then I let it slide. And I just tried to push it down and ignore it. I came out again when I was maybe 17. My partner said if I proceeded to have a sex change, she couldn't be with me. So I pushed that away again, because when you love someone, you think that they're going to be there forever, and you do stupid things. And recently I've come out again, and I'm finally making it stick. So I just wish that I'd made it stick when I was 15, because I'd be almost done by now. All my friends would know me as he. I wouldn't have to go through dealing with the workplace. It just would be done. And yeah, so that's what I'd change. I would have stuck to it instead of letting things slide. I would have enforced how I felt and not let other people's feelings push aside what I felt, you know. I think I covered this in question 2. The best thing about coming out would be to just be allowed to be myself, you know. And the funny thing is, people weren't stopping me from being myself, I was stopping me from being myself based on how I thought they would react. So for once I was allowed to be myself, even though some things like boys' deodorants and things still freak my girlfriend out a bit because she is a lesbian. I'm still learning to let myself be myself and not let other people control how I act. But that's got to be the best thing, finally feeling free from that cage that you put upon yourself. And the worst thing, I have to think about this because there hasn't been very many negatives. I guess maybe losing friends, but I didn't lose any friends from it. I guess the hardest thing is, alright, the worst thing about trans, I guess it's the feeling that, you know, this doesn't count for lesbianism because, or for being lesbian, because I don't think there is a worse thing for being lesbian. Maybe some people get picked on a bit, but that generally doesn't happen. You know, I was lesbian for many years, so that never really happened. But for being trans, I guess it's the fear that once I transition, once I change, once my body changes and I'm not the same person, people that I love, like my girlfriend, won't be able to be around me or be with me. It's very scary to think I'm going to make such a drastic change to myself that I'm going to have to be alone to have that. And I won't change that because I need to feel comfortable within myself before other people can feel comfortable with me. But definitely the worst thing is the fear that I'm never going to be able to settle down with anyone. But yeah, that's it for the questions. I'm sorry if this wasn't great. It's my first time. I'll get better. If you guys have any questions you want us to ask, check out the Formspring thing. I think there's a link. I'll make a link if there isn't a link. It'll be right there. But yeah, you can check me out on my own channel too, and I'll see you guys next Sunday, and I hope that the rest of the week, or the beginning of the week, isn't that bad for you guys. Have a good week. I'll see you next week. Alright, catch you later.